Hey there, fellow wet shavers. Brian here with the Wet Shave Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. Today's video will be using PAA's Obliette, which is the Synergy Shave Soap for how to grow a mustache. And I will be using the matching splash with that. I did pick this up. This has now been discontinued, unfortunately, by PAA. Sometime back, maybe over a year ago, I'm sure, I did some soap exchanges with DK from DK Damn Fine Shaves, and he had sent me this soap, and I really enjoyed the fragrance on it, and I just hadn't picked it up. And then when I had heard that PAA was discontinuing the scent altogether, at least for now, although it may come back, you never know. But I definitely wanted to pick up a set. This is just the CK1 formula or the Crown King formula. I did not opt for the CK6, so this is just the Kokum Butter Shave Soap. This is a vegan soap, non-tallow base. And then I have, again, the matching splash. I will be using, again, for the second time, the Blackland Vector Artist Club style razor. And this time I opted to put in a Kai mild blade. I did not have many blades for this style of razor. I do have that Akum's OREM razor that I showed on the last video I did. That's the only Artist Club style razor I had, and I only had some Feather Pros. I was not loving those blades. They feel a little tuggy to me. And I had loaned my supply injector out to Jeremy, the traveling shaver, and he uses some Artist Style Club blades. So when he sent it back, I had asked if he could send me a couple of different Artist Style Club. So he sent me a Feather Pro Guard, a Feather Pro, I think Super, another Feather Pro, which I had, and then this Kai Mild. So I thought I would try the Kai Mild in this razor and see if that was an improvement. I think I got a great shave. The last shave with this razor, it was pretty efficient, but in my mind, it was a little tuggy, and I feel like that was the blade more so than anything to do with the razor. So I opted to change out the blade. We also have the PAA Phantom Aerolite. This is a new brush to the den. The shave knot on it is a little big, so we'll use it today, see how that goes. It's definitely, I feel like it's bigger. I have the Phantom Aerolite, and I still feel like it's bigger than this one, or feels bigger in my mind. But we are all lathered up in the Lancaster Razorworks bowl, so I'm gonna wet the face. We'll get started. Like I said, this is a now discontinued scent, so if you can pick it up on the aftermarket, on one of the BST groups, or at some point PA may bring it back if enough popular demand is out there, so we'll see. I know that they did that with a couple other scents recently. I think they might have just done some limited runs, so we'll see what happens. I may have overhydrated this, not sure, but and before we get started, just want to say thank you to those that have subscribed. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here a while or a long time, thank you for the continued support. If you are watching this video for the first time or my channel for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button below. And if anything I say helps you in any way, or you like anything I say, please be sure to hit that thumbs up or that like button below. All of that and all of those things help the YouTube algorithms and helps the channel grow. So that would be much appreciated. All right, so that concludes the public service announcement for the video. So let's get into the shave. And we are working on probably 3 days growth. My last shave is Friday. My last shave with this, with this razor, and my last shave period was, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. I think it was Tuesday. So, so I'm working on 3 days growth here. I've been meaning to get more shaves in. I don't know what's going on with my time, but those of you that have watched the channel saw a couple of my videos. I don't talk about it in every video, but I've recently become somewhat unemployed. My job or my company decided to sell off the pharmacy division of the company to another larger company, national chain. And so I stayed on through that transition. That ended at the end of January. And now we wanted to stay here in town because we're building a house, and I didn't really want to work for somebody else and go back into a store and fill prescriptions because I've been in management. I was running 78 pharmacies at one point from our corporate office here in Eugene. And so we've decided that we're going to open up a couple of our own pharmacies and kind of try to go the independent route, and figure if I'm going to work for somebody, it might as well be myself at this point. So drop the jar of soap. So at this point, that's kind of what we're doing. There's some communities that no longer have pharmacies or have a lot less pharmacy options that this transition from my company to the other company, where they didn't have a close location, they moved it like sometimes 10, 15 miles away. And that's not been ideal for a lot of customers. So some of the more rural areas around here and the bedroom communities outside of Eugene have been really hit hard and disadvantaged, and people are being forced to come into Eugene. So we're trying to help those communities out, and as well as find a new opportunity for me and us. So that's where we're at. So, all right, let's get into the shave. But my point is that during these last 3 weeks, I thought I would have a lot of time to do shave videos. And I don't know if it's just my time management, because I don't have somewhere to be for the day. Because I would get up in the morning with enough time to shave and shower, although my shave videos had kind of become sporadic with the transition, and I just wasn't in a good space and all this kind of stuff for a while there. So towards the end of the year, I definitely was not getting as many videos out, but my routine was, get up in the morning, I would get showered, shaved, and sometimes ride the Peloton bike before anybody else got up. And I haven't been doing that. And I just thought, well, I got all day to do that. But then my day gets filled up with something, or, there's a lot of stuff to starting a business that you don't think about when you work for a large company. You've got an HR department, a human resource department, an accounting department, an IT department. And then now, like, we are it. And so just getting all of that stuff set up and everything else, it's a lot of work. And so my routine has been different. I haven't been getting up as early. And I think, oh, I'll get my shave in later in the day, and then a meeting comes up, or I got to pick the kids up from school or after school, and so then the day gets away from me, and then at some point it just gets too late in the day. You're like, I don't really want to shave this late because I want to get a shave tomorrow, and then I won't have enough beard growth. So anyways, long story short, I need to get on a better routine. All right, so this razor is on loan from me from John, AKA Latherhog. It's a beautiful, beautiful razor. This is the stainless steel polished version. I think I looked it up, and there are not any currently available from Blackland, but I think they're going to have a drop in a couple of weeks from, I think, a posting I saw. This is in an unpolished version, a machine version. This razor is $220. In a polished version like this, it's $270, and I think the titanium might be like $400. So it's a very expensive razor. This is definitely a premium purchase if you're out there looking. I don't have a ton of experience with Artist Club style razors. Like I said, my only other one is that Akum's razor. So it's hard for me to compare this to other Artist Style Club. And I don't do the shavette route at this point, which I think many of the shavettes utilize the Artist Style Club blades. So it's hard for me to compare it to anything in the Artist Club style arena. But I will say it's a very smooth shaver. I tried, again, also compliments of John Latherhog. He loaned me his Blackbird. I did find it to be a lot less, find this to be a lot less blade feel than the Blackbird. In my opinion, I put the Blackbird up there maybe with the Rex Envoy. and that kind of razor. I don't know if the Blackbird has positive blade exposure or not. And I'm not sure if this has positive blade exposure or not, but I definitely don't get really any blade feel from this, and it is a lot smoother of a razor. I found it to be pretty efficient, although not the most efficient, but definitely more efficient than like, you know, like a Mercure or some of your more mild razors, maybe even the Rockwell on the lower plates. So, you know, I'm finding this, again, it's only the second shave, so it's really hard to evaluate fully the shave experience. I think it provided me an excellent shave. If you don't have a lot of razors that use artist style club blades, I find it's one of those things where if you're those blades are not cheap. They're not that expensive, but they're not cheap either. And I'm not sure how many, like if you can get more shaves out of an artist style club blade typically than you can a regular DE blade. I don't know that either. So if you're an artist club style blade user, maybe if you have some thoughts on how long the blades last versus a DE blade, put that in the comments below, let me know. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity to try this. Would I buy this? You know, it's hard to say. I don't really want to say whether I buy it or not based on shave quality yet, but based on price, this would be one where I'd be hard pressed to put that much money out on a single razor. But that's just me. I have a couple of nice razors that I spent a little bit of money on. But I have not spent over $200 on a razor. And then just thinking that I'd have to figure out like what artist club blades I like. John recommended the Schick P30s, I think. But it is definitely, the weight is really nice. The feel in my hand is really nice. It is definitely a little different to get used to the length of the head. It's definitely a little longer, so maneuvering it around, you just got to be more careful because you don't want to get the corner stuck somewhere. But it is very thin and it was very easy to get around my nose. So I do appreciate that. I'm feeling that the Kai Mild blade actually is a little less tuggy than what I remember the Feather Pro being. And I think I was using the Pro on like at least 2 or 3 days worth of growth as well. So I think I'm kind of comparing apples to apples in terms of having the same amount of growth on there. As far as the soap goes, I'd say the scent strength on the soap is a medium. This isn't one of the more bold and banging PAA scents, but the scent notes on this I think are pretty simple. Tobacco, brew Bronco, which I'm not really sure what that is. I had to really dig for some scent notes because it's no longer on PAA's site, and a couple other places like Pasteurs, I think, and Razor Company are sold out. So it was hard to dig them up. So what I was able to dig up was Tobacco, Bronco, Bay, and Jasmine. Some people might think this is slightly, and I'm going to say slightly powdery. I don't think it's really, to me, it's kind of got more of a fresh scent to it. I mean, it's tobacco, but I think what I'm getting and I don't know what Brew Bronco smells like, but I'm getting a little bit more of the bay come through, but not like the spicy bay, just the freshness of the bay and the jasmine, I think, coming through on this. So I think it's a really nice scent in my opinion. I don't really get an over tobacco scent, and it's not like cigarette smoke kind of tobacco or cigar kind of scent vibe, but anyways, I think it's nice. I'm glad I grabbed it before it was out. Like I said, if this seems like a scent up your alley, you might be able to find it on one of the BST groups. Or maybe PAA will do another run of it eventually. I feel like the Amber Aerolite brush is a little bit on the bigger side. I'm not a face lather, I'm a bowl lather, so it works fine applying the lather to my face. So I don't know if that would make a difference. I am feeling a little less tugginess. I noticed more tugginess in my chin area when I was using that Feather Pro, and I'm feeling less tugginess right now in this area with this blade. But the shave quality is excellent. If you don't like a lot of blade feel, this is perfect. You know, would I recommend this over a DE? You know, to me, this is one of those that it's just kind of up to you. I don't think there's any advantage to me of an Artist Style Club razor than a DE razor or an injector razor. I think it's just personal preference, or like, frankly, it's a beautiful razor, and it makes a nice part of somebody's collection. And it certainly seems mild enough to me to be an everyday shaver. I think the biggest thing for me is just kind of getting used to the size of the blade. It's like if you're up here, you want to make sure you're not like catching your lip down here or something, because it is so long. So it's like you got to be cognizant of where the whole razor is in regards to your face. Looks like I did get myself a little bit right here on the neck. So I think there's definitely a learning curve with this as well. Making sure you're getting the angle right. I probably have been doing more talking than paying attention. Did that with the Aylesworth razor. The first 2 or 3 shaves, I got a couple nicks. But then the last 2 shaves, when I really just started paying more attention to the blade angle and everything else, I got a couple of flawless, wonderful shaves. So, all right, let's rinse the face. I feel like I might have irritated my chin a little bit too, so again, I'm chalking that up to learning curve on the razor and the head and just getting the angle right. I'll tell you that with the head as narrow as it is this way, when you're riding the cap, you don't have as much kind of cap real estate to work with, so I think you have to maybe work a little bit harder or just be paying more attention to your blade angle, because when you're putting this on your face, you don't have as much, you know, it's not as thick, so, and it's, you know, it only goes kind of one way, so you don't get that curvature or arc that you get on the top of a DE blade. So just finding the angle, I think, might be a little more challenging, but so I'm gonna chalk all that up to user error or user learning curve, we'll call it that. This now does have the industry standard stopper, which is nice. I'll put a little bit more on the neck there. This smells really good to me. It's a pretty fresh scent, and that's like definitely got some burn there. Definitely got some fresh scent. It definitely has that fresh bay vibe to it, which I really didn't think I liked bay rum, but when I used, when I'm using this, and then when I used Zingari Man's The Master, it's not a traditional barbershop. It's dark and spicy, but it has some bay in it, and I actually like that. So maybe I might try a few more bay rum scents. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, folks. I know it was a long video. Thanks for putting up my personal story. I'll try to keep that shorter in the future videos. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon on the channel.